guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Mega Man 4-inch NEL Super Rockman and Cutman 2-pack from Sentinel. That's right, this is one of the sets that I was the most excited for because we've got our first Robot Master in this new line of 4-inch NEL Mega Man figures from Sentinel. Now, the original Blue Bomber figure that they've already created was one of my favorite figures released last year, so I'm anxious to dive into this 2-pack and check out these two new figures. As you can see, they come in window box packaging, very similar to what Mega Man came in by himself, but this of course is a longer box housing both of the action figures and fully showcasing them through the window right there on the front. As you rotate the box around to the back side, it shows you some of the mix and match options you have, because you have the ability to swap heads to make Cutman into Super Cutman using that Super Mega Man body. Pretty interesting stuff, so let's go ahead and get these guys outside of that package and take a closer look at them. So, the line is 4-inch NEL, and as you can see, the figures stand right at the 4-inch mark, so exactly as advertised. Let's go ahead and move Cutman out of the way first. That way we can go ahead and focus first and foremost on our Super Mega Man. So this, of course, is based on one of his armor power-ups that he gets from Mega Man 7, the Super Mega Man armor, or Super Rockman armor, as it's called there on the box. Very, very cool stuff. The figure itself is very similar to what we got with that original release Mega Man, but of course, he's rocking red and white this time around instead of blue. The body there is different, features some new details that kind of recreate that Super Mega Man armor, and also have the little pieces hanging off of the back there. So this is all part of the sculpt. They don't move, they're not articulated or anything like that. Very nicely painted, though. You can see all the paint is nice and clean. Bright yellows and blues there on the back. You can see the yellow kind of mixed in with the red. All clean paint. I really like the overall look there. We got some extra sculpting on the shoulders there as well. And, of course, over here on the right arm, where we've got kind of this extra white stripe that goes all the way over onto his right hand. So, very similar in design to the other Mega Man that we've already got, but definitely has some new sculpted differences. Articulation is also exactly what we came to expect from that other figure. With great range of motion there at the head, you will notice that the faceplate popped right off, and that is kind of the same thing I had going on with that first Mega Man. It stays in there fine when he's on display, but the faceplate does have a tendency to pop off when you move the head a certain way, because the neck kind of pops it right out of place there. And the reason he does that is because he does have interchangeable faces. So this figure comes with the happier Mega Man and the more serious teeth-gritting Mega Man. And it's very easy, again, like I said, you can just pull that faceplate right out, you can pop the new one in its place, and it changes the overall look of the figure. So, ball-jointed head that is articulated at the top and the base of the neck, so great range of motion there. The shoulders are articulated as ball joints, so they go forwards, backwards, up and down. You got swivels at the bicep, great ball joints that are double jointed at the elbow, so good range of motion there. And the wrists have the ability to swivel. These are also on pegs because we can swap those off as well. They are ball jointed at the base of those pegs though, so you can see the hands roll all the way around. The torso is ball jointed at the waist. Again, I popped it right off there. Now, these figures are kind of designed like that on purpose. It's very easy to pop them off the joints when you're moving them around. I think they design them that way so they don't break. It's very similar to what we see with figures like Figma and such like that. Swivels at the thighs. You got great joints there at the knees. Look at the great range of motion there with the legs. So good motion there. And then the same kind of joints that are ball jointed and on pegs there for the feet that we saw with the hands. So you should actually be able to pull off some pretty cool poses with this guy. And he does come with a set of interchangeable hands, being open palmed hands. So you can swap those out very easily. As I showed you, just pulls right off the peg, and we can switch the fists out. You can put the open hands there, or you can mix them and match them, so you can create your desired Mega Man pose. So pretty cool stuff. Now, of course, in addition to that, he wouldn't be Mega Man without an arm cannon, so he does come with a red arm cannon as well. This can be swapped on easily just by pulling off the whole forearm off the figure on either side, left or right, whichever you desire actually will work. And then we can put the arm cannon on that peg in its place. You can see the articulation does kind of move around a little bit, so you got to kind of balance that out there, pop that on, and now we've got the arm cannon as well. So if you want to display a Super Mega Man with an arm cannon, you do have the option to do so. So let's go ahead and jump over to what I consider the highlight of the set, Cutman. So Cutman, of course, has appeared in many Mega Man games. He's actually one of the more iconic villains, but he debuted right there in Mega Man 1 as one of the original bosses, the Robot Masters. And he's always been one of my favorite Robot Masters as well, so I was very excited to get him. So you can see the overall body design is very similar to that original Mega Man figure that we already got. He's just wearing orange and white, but all that articulation is exactly the same on this guy as we saw with the other Mega Man and that original Mega Man in the line. So you can pull off some really good poses with this. Now he also does come with his own interchangeable faces. So we've got the more frowny face. We've also got kind of an evil smirk, which is really cool. And in order to do that, you'll actually just pop the front half of his head off, just like that, and then you can swap on the other piece if you want to, and then you also have to move the actual scissors over to that new head. So that way, gives you the option to display him in different ways. And since I removed those scissors, yes, you could pop those off, just like he always did in the game, to use as his weapon. Now, to help you out with that, you might want to do some swapping of his hands. And he actually comes with several different hands to swap on and off. Look at this. He's got 6 different hands in addition to the 2 that are already on there. Now, 2 of these hands are designed to fit more in with that Super Cutman armor because they have the extra white stripe on the hand. So we'll get more to those in just a bit. But in addition to the closed fists, he does also have 2 open palms like that, and he's got like these more flat hands just like this, and the hands swap out just like we saw with Mega Man there. They just pull right off the pegs, and that way you can kind of mix and match those parts to get your desired Cutman. Now, both figures include one of these display bases, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that in now because I want to talk about some of the poses with this. We get 2 of these in here, but as I kind of mentioned with my original Mega Man, I'm not a huge fan of these because they're so big. They do kind of take up a lot of space, but you have an articulated arm that can be positioned anywhere you want to. It's got a little lip all the way around, so you can kind of just clip that in there, and then you can bend and pose this around, and it's got a little C-clamp that can go around the figures. This is so that you can use it just having them standing. You can do running poses, you can do jumping poses, but one of the things that I wanted to do was have the ability to pose Cutman throwing the scissors like he did in the video game. I really wish that this set came with an articulated arm that had an attachment specifically to plug the scissors in, but it doesn't. I kind of used the C-clamp to clip onto it and got it to balance to make it look like he was throwing them, but I didn't really like the results too much because the C-clamp is just too noticeable. It's a little bulky, so kind of fun to see that you can do it. I just wish there was something a little more practical so that I had that option for display. That would have been really, really cool. Alright, so I was talking about Super Cutman. We can swap the heads just by pulling them right out of the neck peg there, just like that. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you. It's very easy. It's a lot easier to plug it in if you take the head apart first, because then you can see exactly where to plug that in, and then we can plug the face back on there. And then you'll want to just switch the hands out, because Mega Man gets the white hands, Cutman will get the orange hands, and there is hands designed just for this that's got the little white stripe that matches up with the suit. So you can pop those hands on however you want there, and now we can mix those bodies together, and look at that. We have created ourselves Super Cutman! Yeah! So there you guys go. There is a look at the brand new 4-inch NEL Super Mega Man and Cutman figure 2-pack from Sentinel. Overall, I really like both figures, and I'm very happy with the Cutman specifically. I think Sentinel's doing a great job nailing these characters. I love the articulation. The swappable parts are nice. I kind of wish the faceplates and the parts didn't pop out quite as easy as they do, but it's not so bad that they're just falling apart in my hands while I'm holding them. It's mostly just when you're articulating them and moving them around that you have a tendency to do that, and that does seem to happen a lot with a lot of these types of figures, so it's kind of a common thing. The display bases are okay. They could be a little bit better, but for the most part, I really, really love these. I just hope that Sentinel does more Robot Masters. Come on, guys. There are so many great designs from those original Mega Man games. We need more bad guys. We need more Robot Masters in this line. I hope it doesn't stop with Cutman. We've got to have more of these guys. So these guys are only offered as a 2-pack, which I kind of wish you could get Cutman by himself, but if you want him, you got to get the 2-pack, and it is a bit pricey. It's going to run you around $130, and you're going to have to find it from a site that imports it. I picked mine up from BigBadToyStore.com, so happy hunting, my friends. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my friends.